This is not where we left off from episode 1. I got a little bit ahead of myself. So if you're watching this, you guys got a sneak preview of where Fevre's at today. Obviously, we've got to start off where we left off from episode 1. So I hope you enjoy this episode. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And with that being said, here we go.
City by the Sea mourns a lost loved one this Memorial Day weekend. A well-known man in the Swansboro area died unexpectedly yesterday evening.
Investigators say they think it was an accidental drowning in the Intracoastal Waterway. It happened near the public piers in Swansboro.
So 2019 started with boat still being in the water, and we're prepping her to move her down to acres away, marina boatyard. It's actually a boatyard. You can work on your boat while you're there, and it's about 6 hours by sailboat if you're going at least 5 to 6 knots from Swansboro. So that's the plan, and we weren't gonna leave until I was looking around March or April, but we ended up headed out in May. We were only out of the water for a couple weeks. Money was tight. We wanted to get her back in the water and get Swansboro by Sail back up and running. So we took her down, I think it was around May 11th or 12th. She stayed out of the water for a couple of weeks. And on the 23rd, that morning, Mike was dropped off at the boatyard with one of his best friends, and they worked on the boat that morning, and they dropped her back in the water. So I was at work when they splashed her in the water that morning, and I was following him on Facebook Messenger just to keep an eye out, see where he was at, because I was getting off work at 4 so I can meet them down at the docks. And I got out at 4, and I got into the borough probably about 4:30-ish, and we were still texting back and forth. So I took a picture, put it on Facebook, letting them know that I was downtown ready for them to come in. And I seen the top of the mast coming around the corner of the island, and I watched the mast come around. And this was and then I texted him and said, "Hey, I see you," and he texted me back with a "Yay." That was at 5:04. And I figured it's going to be about 10, maybe 15 minutes for them to get down to the docks. And I looked down the waterway, and I seen Fevre come around the corner, and I saw the sails drop. And I just assumed that they were just coming in, getting prepped to come in to dock. And then I lost the boat. I didn't know where she went. I didn't know what happened. I started texting him back, thinking maybe they had run aground out there, because it's a little tricky. And 5:30 rolled around, and I started to get a little worried. And then I saw and heard a lot of commotion going on at the town dock. didn't even dawn on me that it could have been them, period, because I didn't see Fevre. Fevre didn't even come into town. So there was a lot of commotion going on, and ran into one of the co-owners of Saltwater Grill, and he was on his phone and said that somebody needed EMS. And the first thing that went into my mind is, I'm trained in this kind of thing. I'm going to go down and help. And I got down to the docks, and it didn't even click until his best friend said, "Shannon, I'm so sorry." And it took me for about 5 seconds to realize that Mike was in the boat, and he was the one that they were performing CPR on. After I seen both of them in the boat and Mike laying there, I knew it was pretty grim. Without going into great detail, he was already gone by the time they made it back to the dock. They were both in the water for a good 10 minutes, and CPR was just not working. And he was gone. I knew it.
What happens is all this water comes in the ocean there, and by the time it hits these buoys, it slows down enough to start depositing its sediment. So I got thread and needle here. I got to give him room to pass by, and then get back behind him, so I don't end up in shallow water.
The night went into a blur. I remember little. There's a couple things that I really truly stick with me till to this day was, seeing him in the boat, and then seeing Coast Guard pull Fevre back from wherever she was at. And since it was a Thursday, Captain Phillips came in with his catch of the evening, so now every Thursday when I see Captain Phillips come in, it always brings me back to that point. But it's gotten better, and I thank God every day for the time I had with Mike.
I had the night watch from midnight to 6 in the morning, and I literally stood on the wheel for 6 hours trying to hold it on course.
Wow.
We still went 100 miles off course. And we have rolling waves behind us, 20 feet. You went up, then you went down.
Okay.
6 hours of that standing on the wheel. And then when they came up, I said, I'm going to bed. And when I hit that bed, I go, oh man.
Maybe that wasn't such a great idea.
Well, yeah, no, I had to stop.
I'm doing better. I'm doing much better. Time goes by pretty fast, and I have so many good friends, family. They take care of me. They watch out for me, and I appreciate each and every one of them.